Zacharias was elderly. He served the Lord as a priest and honored the Lord with his wife, living a godly testimony, but he and Elizabeth were barren and desperately desired a child. But God's purposes were even greater. That's always the case. His ways are higher than our ways. He's often working in the silence, in those times of waiting, in our periods of wondering what God is doing behind the scenes. He's still working. Got to trust his perfect way in that silence. Zacharias and Elizabeth did just that. As Luke tells us, Zacharias is chosen by lot out of 18,000 priests to minister one day in the temple. Right? Twice a day, a priest went in to keep the incense burning before the Lord in the holy place. And so Zacharias is chosen to enter the holy place alone while others outside prayed for him. He's delayed as he serves. An angel appears to him and shares that his son would be the forerunner of Messiah. Zacharias was fearful and asked for a sign because he was too old. How can this be? Well, the sign was granted, and he probably shouldn't have asked for it because he wasn't able to speak until after the child was born. That was the sign. And so began a time of silence. Maybe the most peaceful days in their marriage with Elizabeth. Maybe not. But when the child John was born, he could speak. As they brought him to the temple to consecrate him to the Lord opened his tongue, allowing him to share. And he presented an amazing prophecy of Messiah and of salvation. Here's a snippet. And you, child, will be called the prophet of the Most High, for you will go on before the Lord to prepare his ways, to give his people the knowledge of salvation by the forgiveness of their sins, because of the tender mercy of our God, with which the sunrise, Messiah, from on high, will visit us to shine upon those who sit in darkness and the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace. And so God remembered Zacharias as Zacharias proclaimed God's salvation. Not just salvation from Rome, but salvation from their sins, granting us peace with God through Jesus Christ. The name Zacharias means Yahweh has remembered again. Remember again today that God works even in your silences.